It is the 31st century, and mankind is once again at war. The battlefields of the future are dominated by huge robotic war machines known as battlemechs.
It started, Captain. Our forces have engaged the Bryan's Legion Command Company. We have confirmed Colonel Bryan is leading his lance. Our forces have bogged them down, but they managed to get out a distress signal. At this point, we cannot afford Caridans to interfere, which is exactly what they are trying to do. We intercepted and managed to decode orders for one of their assault lances to reinforce Colonel Bryan's command lance. This is a critical juncture, Captain. A pristine assault lance could tip the balance. We know the route they intend to take. Take all available forces and stop that lance. Good luck, Captain. In the opening days for the Battle of David, the Federated Sons commander, Marshal Petrov Havenson, knew his one regiment of Deneb Light Cavalry could not openly fight both regiments fielded by the invaders, choosing to avoid the mercenaries of Bryan's Legion whenever possible. Instead, Marshal Havenson concentrated most of his harassing actions on the Durian regulars. All the while, Marshal Havenson used his intelligence services to spoon-feed misinformation to the Bryan Legion commander, Colonel Pythonus Bryan. The Deneb Light Cavalry had long used the fortified Danson's Hill as a stronghold, but to bait the trap, Marshal Havenson allowed his location there to be leaked. Believing the months of constant fighting had worn down the Federated Sons, and seeing a chance at a massive bonus for capturing Marshal Havenson, Colonel Bryan broke away from his assigned duties, instead attacking in full force. Once fully engaged, Marshal Havenson used the fortifications and most of his forces to hold the mercenaries in place while his light mech swung wide, attacking from the rear. Close to breaking through, but now facing encirclement, Colonel Bryan called for Caridan reinforcements. The assault mechs of Chakotay Lance of the 9th Durian Regulars were deployed to break the light mech encirclement and sweep away the strained Deneb defenses. Little did they know that their orders had been intercepted by Davian intelligence, including their assigned route. Captain Chryson of 5th Company was ordered to stop them. Realizing that his actions could decide who controlled the planet of David, Captain Chryson recalled his forces from the Polis Theater, attempting to redeploy all 4 lances against the heavy and assault mechs. As Clydesdale Lance and the newly formed Corsican Lance met at the ambush site, it became clear that Morrison Lance was just too far away, and the mauled Fajord Lance crippled mechs would not arrive in time. As the Deneb mechs suddenly powered up, springing the trap, a pivotal battle for control of the planet of David had begun. Turn 1. The Battlemaster runs up the nearby hill. The Orion holds his ground. The Cataphract remains in cover behind the tall hill's peak, taking aim. The Victor runs around the hill towards the Battlemaster. The Blackjack stands still, preparing his AC-2s. The Cyclops runs into melee range with the Victor. The Thunderbolt runs after the Cyclops. The Guillotine runs after the Cyclops into melee range with the Victor. The Raven runs forward behind the hill, trying to get into the rear of the Caridans. The Stalker stands still. The Flea runs around the hill towards the Thunderbolt. The Locust runs out of his hiding spot, around the Lance and into the rear of the Thunderbolt. The Cataphract fires his AC-10, PPC, and medium laser at the Thunderbolt. The autocannon and PPC hitting in the center torso, and the medium laser hitting the left torso. The Victor Alpha strikes the Cyclops, the massive autocannon tearing into the Cyclops' right leg. A medium laser hits the right torso, and the missiles slam into the center torso and left torso, followed by a thundering kick to the mech's right leg. The Blackjack fires on the Cyclops with both light autocannons, but misses. The Cyclops returns fire on the Victor with his AC-20 medium lasers and his SRM-4. The AC-20 cracks into the Victor's center torso armor, while the SRMs damage the left leg and arm. Tai-E Honda tries to kick the Victor, but misses. The Thunderbolt fires his large laser and 3 medium lasers at the Victor, but only a single medium laser hits the left leg. The Guillotine Alpha strikes the Victor. The medium lasers tear into the right arm, left leg, left arm, and the missiles miss, but the Guillotine slams his foot into the leg of the Victor. Finding a flaw in the internal structure, the leg shatters, and the Victor tumbles backwards, damaging the rear of the left torso. The Raven fires a large laser at the Cyclops, but misses. The Stalker fires both LRM launchers and both large lasers at the Cyclops, but only a few missiles hit the right arm and head. The Flea fires his large laser and both small lasers at the Cyclops, the large laser melting some of the armor off the right torso. The Locust fires a medium laser and a burst from both machine guns at the rear of the Thunderbolt. The laser misses, but the machine guns damage the right arm and the armor of the rear right torso. The Locust follows up with a kick, doing some damage to the mech's left leg. The Orion fires his LRM-15, a medium laser, and his AC-10 at the Cyclops. The AC-10 further damages the center torso, while the medium laser hits the left torso. The missiles slam into the right leg, destroying the leg. The Cyclops falls over, damaging the left leg and center torso. Turn 2. The Orion stands taking aim. The Victor crawls back towards his lance. The Blackjack stays atop the hill, lining up his AC-2s. The Cyclops crawls back behind the hill, trying to flee. The Cataphract stands still, taking aim. The Thunderbolt remains under control and runs around the hill, trying to circle around the trap. The Guillotine runs the opposite direction, also trying to circumvent the killing ground. The Raven walks on top of the hill, helping to complete the encirclement. The Stalker turns and runs off the hill into melee range with the Guillotine. The Battlemaster backs up following the Thunderbolt. The Flea backs around the hill, hiding from the Thunderbolt and Battlemaster, but getting a shot on the Guillotine. The Locust runs after the Guillotine, managing to get into the heavy mech's rear. The Orion fires his LRM-15 indirectly on the Thunderbolt, but misses. The Flea fires his large laser at the Guillotine, but misses. The Locust fires his medium laser and both machine guns at the rear of the Guillotine, concentrating all fire onto the rear right torso, punching through the armor and destroying a heatsink and kicking the left leg. The Raven fires the large laser at the rear of the Thunderbolt, but misses. The Stalker's heatsink strain as the Mech Warrior fires all 4 medium lasers and both SRM-6 launchers at the Guillotine. The missiles miss, but the medium lasers hit the center torso and the right leg and left arm. The Stalker lands a massive kick, destroying tons of armor off the Guillotine's right leg. The Battlemaster fires his PPC at the rear of the Locust, but misses the light mech. The Victor holds fire. The Cataphract fires his AC-10 and PPC at the Thunderbolt, the PPC hitting the right arm. The Thunderbolt returns fire on the Cataphract with his large laser and LRM-15. The large laser misses, but the missiles hit the left leg and find cracks in the armor and the center torso. Explosions and shrapnel from the missiles find their way into the torso, crashing into the gyro, seizing up the sensitive works. The Cataphract falls, damaging the right torso and right leg. The Blackjack fires both autocannon 2s at the Thunderbolt, one hitting the right leg. The Cyclops fires his LRM-10 indirectly at the Stalker, but misses. Turn 3. The Flea runs forward, trying to block in the Guillotine. The Locust runs up and over the tall hill in front of him. The Orion runs forward after the Thunderbolt and Battlemaster. The Guillotine jumps over the Stalker and Flea. The Raven holds position in the rear. The Stalker turns around. The Battlemaster runs forward. The victor crawls behind the hill trying to hide. The Cataphract lifts up to fire. The Thunderbolt runs past the Battlemaster. The Blackjack stays atop his perch. Tai Honda and his Cyclops crawls towards safety. The Flea fires his large laser at the Guillotine, but misses. The Locust flips his arms, firing a burst from both machine guns at the Guillotine, but also misses. The Orion fires on the Thunderbolt with his AC-10 two medium lasers and SRM-4, the lasers hitting the left arm and left leg. The Guillotine returns fire at the Flea with 4 medium lasers and his SRM-6, but misses with it all. The Raven holds fire, unable to see the Cyclops. The Stalker fires on the Guillotine with 4 medium lasers and both SRM-6 launchers. The lasers hit the right and center torso, while the missiles score multiple hits on the torsos and right arm. The Battlemaster returns fire on the Orion with his lasers and SRM-6, scoring only 1 medium laser hit on the Orion center torso. The Victor has no fire. The Cataphract fires his AC-10 and PPC at the Thunderbolt, hitting the mech in the right torso. The Thunderbolt also fires on the Orion with his large laser and 2 of his medium lasers, the medium lasers scoring hits on the left arm and left torso. The Blackjack Alpha strikes the Guillotine, lasers melting into the mech's right arm and rear left torso. A light autocannon burst also hitting the Guillotine's rear left torso. The Cyclops also has no fire. Turn 4. The Victor keeps crawling to take better cover behind the hill. The Flea runs forward trying to guess where the Guillotine is going to go. The Locust runs around the hill across the battlefield to get in the way of the Thunderbolt and Battlemaster. The Orion runs on top of a nearby hill. The Guillotine manages to stay under control and jumps further away from the Stalker, putting its back to the cliff of a nearby tall hill. The Raven stands still, watching the crippled Cyclops. The Stalker stands still, aiming at the Guillotine. The Cataphract lifts up again to fire. The Thunderbolt runs around the Locust. The Blackjack runs off the peak of the hill to the cliff behind and above the Guillotine. Tai Honda crawls forward, lifting up, pointing his autocannon 20 at the light mech on the hill above him. The Battlemaster runs along with the Thunderbolt. The Orion fires his AC-10 and 2 medium lasers at the Thunderbolt's rear, but misses. The Guillotine fires his SRM-6 and medium lasers at the Flea, but cannot hit the tiny, fast-moving mech. The Raven, panicking, fires his full arsenal at the downed Cyclops, concentrating all his laser fire on the Cyclops' center torso, the missiles missing. The Stalker again fires at the Guillotine, this time with both LRM launchers and a large laser. The large laser misses, but missiles explode against the left leg and both arms and the center torso. The Cataphract fires on the Battlemaster, the AC-10 digging into the rear armor of the center torso, and the PPC penetrating the rear left torso, but missing anything vital. The Thunderbolt fires on the Locust with 3 medium lasers, his SRM-2, but misses the bug mech. The Blackjack fires on the rear of the Guillotine at point-blank range with his 4 medium lasers, 2 of the lasers heavily damaging the rear center torso armor. Captain Chryson's Victor continues to hide behind the hill. The Cyclops opens up on the Raven above him with his autocannon 20 medium laser and SRM-4. The AC-20 shattering the small mech's right arm and damaging the armor on the right torso. The medium lasers hit the left leg, and the SRM-4 hit the center torso, and right leg. The Battlemaster manages to stay up and fires his PPC and 2 medium lasers at the Locust, but also misses the tiny mech. The Flea flips his arms and fires his large laser and small lasers at the Guillotine, but misses. The Locust fires on the Thunderbolt with his medium laser and machine guns, but misses. Turn 5. The Cataphract lifts up to fire again. The Battlemaster tries to run around the Locust. The Orion walks off the hill after the Thunderbolt and Battlemaster. The Guillotine runs towards safety. The Raven falls, damaging the mech's right torso. He manages to stand back up and runs around the hill, away from the Cyclops. The Stalker walks after the Guillotine. The Thunderbolt runs around the Locust. The Blackjack stands still, taking aim again. Captain Chryson, still unwilling to stand on a legless mech, concentrates on helping his company. Tai Honda, on the other hand, crawls away, trying to reach safety. The Flea walks into melee range with the rear of the Guillotine. The Locust backs behind the Battlemaster. The Cataphract can no longer see the Battlemaster or the Thunderbolt. The Battlemaster fires his PPC at the rear of the Flea, destroying the tiny mech's left arm, while also firing his rear medium lasers at the Locust behind him, a laser hitting the Locust in the head. The Orion fires his AC-10, both medium lasers, and his SRM-4 trying to stop the Battlemaster. The AC-10 ripping into the rear of the right torso. The medium lasers hit the right arm and the rear of the left torso. The missiles hit the left arm, but one missile penetrates into the internal of the center torso, heavily damaging the mech's fusion engine, nearly destroying it. The Guillotine fires a shot at the Locust with his large laser, destroying the tiny mech's left arm. The Raven can no longer see the Cyclops. The Stalker again fires on the Guillotine with both large lasers and both LRM launchers, trying to keep the mech from escaping, but the mech warrior's targeting sensors have been affected by the mech's overheating, and he misses with everything. The Thunderbolt fires his LRM-15 indirectly on the Flea, but only a few of the missiles hit the small mech's left arm. The Blackjack fires on the Guillotine, the lasers hitting the head, right arm, and right leg. The Victor still cannot fire. The Cyclops can also no longer see the Raven. The Flea fires his large laser and small lasers at the Guillotine. The large laser hits the left arm, while a small laser hits the right leg. The Flea kicks the heavily damaged right leg, leaving the leg functional, but ready to fall off at any moment. The Locust fires on the Battlemaster with his laser and machine gun. The laser hitting the center torso again, but fails to bring down the assault mech. Turn 6. The Guillotine pilot manages to block out his injuries and escape out of the killing zone. The Raven runs around the hill to again attack the downed Cyclops. The Cataphract drags his mech forward enough to again see the Cyclops. The Stalker stands still, trying to cool his mech. The Battlemaster manages to exit the engagement zone, followed by the Thunderbolt. The Blackjack stands still, readjusting his aim. The Flea turns around and begins to run back toward the Cyclops. The Locust turns around and also begins running back toward the Cyclops at top speed. The Victor continues to hide behind the hill. Tai Honda pulls his Cyclops across the ground, inching ever closer to safety. The Orion turns and runs back towards the crawling Cyclops. The Victor has no fire. Tai Honda again lifts up and unleashes his massive autocannon medium laser and missiles at the Raven, destroying the left torso and heavily damaging the center torso. The Flea and Locust are out of range. The Orion tries to get a lock on the Cyclops with targeting data to fire indirectly with his LRMs, but cannot get a good lock. The Cataphract fires his AC-10 and PPC at the Cyclops, but misses. The Stalker cools his red-hot mech. The Blackjack fires both light autocannons at the Cyclops, an autocannon round hitting the assault mech's unprotected center torso, damaging the gyro. The Raven fires his remaining 2 medium lasers, both hitting the down mech's right arm. Turn 7. The Raven runs around the down Cyclops to cut off his escape. The Stalker runs forward, ready to fire. The Orion also runs towards the Cyclops. Captain Chryson stays down, allowing his lances to do their work. Tai Honda crawls around the Raven just a few meters from safety. The Flea runs, trying to get into range. The Locust runs into melee range with the Cyclops. The Cataphract lifts up to fire again. The Blackjack stands still, lining up on the downed assault mech. The Locust fires down with his medium laser and machine gun, the machine gun damaging the right arm and further damaging the arm with a kick. The Victor cannot fire. The Cataphract fires again with his AC-10 and PPC, but misses. The Cyclops fires up with his AC-20 medium laser and his SRM-4. The massive autocannon and laser misses, but the missiles destroy the right arm and right torso of the heavily damaged light mech. The Stalker fires both LRM-10s at the Cyclops, the LRMs hitting the left torso and left leg. The Orion Alpha strikes the downed Cyclops. The autocannon rounds rip into the left torso, but it is the LRMs that smash into the armorless center torso, damaging the fusion engine and detonating the unspent SRM reloads. The mech vanishes in an explosion as the Dyrian Company commander dies with his mech. Aftermath. The Battle of Danson's Hill was almost over by the time the crippled mechs of Chakotay Lance, 3rd Company, arrived. The embattled light mechs were forced to break off the encirclement of the mercenaries, keeping the defeat from becoming a massacre. Still, the damage had been done, and the leader of Brian's Legion, Colonel Pythonus Brian, was dead, and the Legion was in tatters. The surviving Legion fled, with Chakotay Lance unable to hold back their pursuers. Disgusted by their allies' cowardice, the surviving Chakotay Lance returned to their leaderless unit, allowing the Davians to chase the surviving Legionnaires. Now outnumbered and alone, the mercenaries fled to the Planet of David's Comstar HPG facility, seeking sanctuary. To resolve the situation, Comstar bought out Brian Legion's contract from the Draconis Combine, but at a greatly reduced rate. Now, the struggle for David would be fought solely between the age-old rivals of the Davians and the Caridans. Hello, this is Adam of Dream Made Productions. Thank you for watching this video. I would ask, please help me grow this channel by subscribing, liking, leaving a comment, or sharing. I really enjoy bringing you these videos. If you would like to support the channel, I have included some places you can send Bitcoin or other crypto in the description. I have also included a link for PayPal if you would like to support that way. Please know that any amount you give will be cherished and used to upgrade equipment and improve the channel. As of the date of this video, all donations and any funds I can personally put in are being saved towards upgrading to a Canon G50 for HD video. I cannot express how honored I am that so many of you have chosen to watch my content. When I started this adventure, I thought I would just have one sub. Thanks, Mom. But the amount of support I have gotten has exceeded all my expectations. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, I hope you enjoy the battle reps that are to come.